despite the gloomy conditions, it doesn't matter. It's been 2 years since fans have been at training camp, and they couldn't wait to get here to see their favorite team. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the special training camp edition of Patriots All Access presented by GEICO. I'm Steve Burton. There's a lot of optimism in the air, along with a lot of questions. Dan Roach is here to help kick things off as training camp begins.
The last time the Patriots took to a training camp field with fans in attendance was August 13th, 2019. So this is special.
You know, everything they talk about, you know, in Foxborough and the love and the energy. Man, it was a great feeling coming out here. You know, guys is making 1-yard catches and they're going crazy.
There's lots of new talent on offense here, but how quickly it can come together is a big question mark.
Just got to build that camaraderie throughout these days of training camp, starting from OTAs until now, and just keep working and building chemistry because that's what it's all about.
Much of the focus is on the quarterbacks as Cam Newton returns for his second season, while rookie first-rounder Mac Jones tries to get up to speed.
Great energy, you know, just bringing life to the locker room, you know, always laughing, smile on his face, you know what I mean, loves football, you know what I mean, you can't ask for a better quarterback.
The defense has also added talent, familiar and new, and the unit carries a sense of urgency.
Being out here in training camp and kind of knowing what's at stake and, you know, how soon the turnaround is from training camp to preseason and into the actual season, you know, kind of lights a fire up under your ass because, you know, there's no time to play around, there's no time to take plays off or practices off, and, you know, guys are just trying to learn and trying to get better.
And one more motivating factor, last year's 7-9 record.
Everybody kind of had a sour taste in their mouth after last year not performing the way we wanted to, so I know definitely guys want to come out here and put our best foot forward to improve.
If you come down here, you're definitely going to see at training camp a lot of new faces. You're going to need a roster, keeping track of all those new faces. Hunter Henry, Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar, Jonnu Smith, on it goes, Steve. A lot of new faces, but exciting to be here at camp.
Well, I like what I see so far, but what are your first impressions of day one?
I think there's a lot of talent here, definitely on both sides of the football, but they have a long, long way to go. It's going to be fun to watch Bill Belichick, Josh McDaniels working with the quarterbacks, getting them on the right page, the right track from now all the way through joint practices and preseason, so they're ready to go against Miami, but a lot more talent on the 2021 Pats than the 2020 Patriots.
All right, Roachy, good stuff all the way around. We'll have more Patriots All Access right after this.
Coming up on All Access.
We talked to Patriots safety Adrian Phillips.
I'm ready to build with these guys and just take it to the next level because if we do what we're supposed to, there's no telling where we can go.
But first, Coach Belichick joins our training camp set as Patriots camp kicks off.
Good to see you. Good to be back with you, Zoe. You're looking good in those Nantucket Reds.
Doing okay. I'm trying to represent the coach here. Getting off the they got me off the island for this show.
You're watching Patriots All Access.
Patriots All Access is brought to you by Pepsi. That's what I like. Pepsi, the official soft drink of the New England Patriots. And by Putnam Investments. Putnam Investments and the New England Patriots. Proud partners committed to an active game plan on the field and off. And by Bank of America, official bank of the New England Patriots.
Here are some important dates this preseason as the Patriots heat up this summer. The first preseason game in 2 years will take place at Gillette Stadium on August 12th, when New England hosts the Washington football team. On August 16th and 17th, the Patriots will conduct joint practices in Philadelphia with the Eagles, in advance of their preseason game with Philly on August 19th. Finally, the Patriots will host the New York Football Giants on August 25th and 26th before their preseason game, the preseason finale, on August 29th at MetLife Stadium.
Welcome back to Patriots All Access. Time to sit down with Coach Belichick. And Coach, it's not only great to see you, but great to see fans back and a little more normalcy for your football team with a real training camp type atmosphere. Fair to say?
Yeah, it is. It's a lot different than what it was last year, but it's good to be out here in a real training camp practice setting. good to see you. Good to be back with you. So you're looking good in those Nantucket Reds.
We're doing okay. Trying to represent the coach here, getting off they got me off the island for this show. But anything for you. For the next 6 days, though, and I know you sort of talked about your schedule, but for fans that are coming down for the next several days before you put on the pads, what do you expect to see? What can you tell them to expect to see?
Oh, well, it's really just a continuation of the spring OTAs for us in minicamp. So, we're teaching, we're working a lot on the passing game. There's only so much contact work we can do. Bags, sleds, those kind of things. We can't really do much against each other, but we're getting the things installed, and we get a chance to run them. We'll run them.
You've talked about clean slates for everybody, coaches, players. When you decide to go to pads, is that really where you start to whittle some things down, some reps from a competition and a competitive standpoint, position to position?
Yeah, well, I think we have to see what everybody can do, and we all have a lot of work to do. Coaches, players, everybody. We got, we all have to, get back to the performance level that we need to compete in this league and in this division. So when we get those opportunities to do it, then hopefully we'll be able to take advantage of them and be prepared to do it.
47th camp for you. You look great. What gets you out of bed every day when Bill Belichick's feet hit the floor running, and you get that smile, you get the grin on now? What gets you excited about coming to work each and every day? What makes you tick?
Well, really the people that I work with. We've got a lot of great people, and players have worked hard. They've really put a lot into this season, coaching staff. So now we're out in the field. We can start to see it come together, and let's take it day by day. Just try to string them together.
47 years, you've seen a lot, and there's a lot of changes over those 47 years. But as you sit here in your 47th camp, what are some of the constants that you say, okay, this is the same thing?
Fresh start. Yeah, just fresh start. Everything's starting from scratch. The rookies, haven't been on the field with them, so you have to start at their level to give them a chance. And, guys that have more experience have an edge, and then that gap will eventually close. And then we'll see how each unique team forms together. Every team has a different group of has a different chemistry, and you go through a different set of circumstances and challenges, and we'll just see how each team and this team decides to manage those, and how we emerge from it.
All right, next time I see you, I'll be down in Philadelphia. Look forward to real football. Look forward to calling games and traveling with you guys again. Not that we're traveling with you, but I'll see you on the road down in Philadelphia, Coach.
Yeah, sounds good. Look forward to seeing you down there.
All right, have a great rest of the camp. More Patriots All Access will return right after this.
With a special training camp edition of your Patriots Social Media Minute. The Patriots season is just beginning, but there's already been a pretty cool football story to take place in New England so far this month. The Boston Renegades women's professional football team advanced to the WFA National Championship game last week and received a surprise call from Robert Kraft.
We'd like the privilege of flying you on our Patriot team plane.
Are you serious? The Renegades came to Gillette Stadium for a special send-off prior to taking flight on aircraft, and then proceeded to take home their 6th overall and 3rd consecutive national title, making it a weekend to remember. Before Patriots players returned to Foxborough this week, Kyle Van Noy, Kendrick Bourne, and Jake Bailey all made a quick stop at Fenway Park. The three of them threw out ceremonial first pitches before the Red Sox took on the Yankees last weekend, and all three brought the heat. That's all for our latest Social Media Minute. Be sure to follow along on Patriots.com and Patriots Social for all of your training camp coverage. I'm Lauren Spencer.
Welcome back to Patriots All Access, everyone. Joining me now is Patriots safety Adrian Phillips. How you doing, my friend? Man. Yo, Adrian. You know that term, Yo, Adrian?
Yeah, I heard it a lot growing up. I still hear it a lot now, actually. But, yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
You got it, my friend. Hey, this is your second training camp, but first with the fans. Mm-hmm. How excited are you to have the fans back?
Man, I am so excited to have him because, you know, I played here twice with the opposing team, with the Chargers, and you just hear the fans and how loud they are. And now being able to, like, experience that from day one of training camp, it's a Wednesday, and the turnout that we got, like, it was great to see.
Do they get the players pumped up?
Yeah, you see that and you know it's go time. You know you don't want to come out here and get embarrassed, so it's like everybody's locked in a lot more.
As training camp begins, Bill Belichick said the first phase of training camp is a teaching session.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that way, and do you have to be further along now that you are than you were in April?
Yeah, you know, OTAs, that's kind of when you're laying the base work for everything. You're implementing the game plan, showing like what we'll do when training camp comes. And now it's like everybody knows the system. Everybody's been over it. So in the meetings, you're kind of running through everything a little bit faster, still teaching, still working on the fundamentals and stuff like that. But now when we get out here, like, it's time to go. We've seen these looks before. We practiced these techniques before. We're still teaching, but we expect you to be farther along.
But is it true that training camp doesn't begin until you put the pads on?
Oh, the pads is when everything is running now, because now you got the offensive line and the defensive line going at it, and now they really get the bang, and you got the running backs going hard. So it's still kind of passing tendencies right now. You know, people still kind of chirping, but when them pads come on, you're going to see who the real dogs are.
How much more comfortable do you feel in your second season here?
I feel a lot more comfortable. First year, it was tough. We were navigating through a tough time.
Right.
You know, you had no fans, you had COVID, you had the social distancing, everything like that. But now with it being the second year, got a little stuff under my feet. You know what I'm saying? I know what to do now. I know how to carry myself even better throughout the locker room, and knowing my guys even better. It feels a lot more natural to be here.
A lot more new faces on this team this year. A lot of optimism in the air. Do you feel encouraged the direction this team is going?
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm ready to get it going. I know we got about 2-3 weeks until our first preseason game, but I'm ready to build with these guys and just take it to the next level, because if we do what we're supposed to, it's no telling where we can go.
Yo, Adrian, good luck.
Thank you.
Adrian Phillips, our guest. We'll be back with more Patriots All Access right after this.
Patriots All Access is brought to you by Pepsi. That's what I like. Pepsi, official soft drink of the New England Patriots. By Putnam Investments. Putnam Investments and the New England Patriots. Proud partners committed to an active game plan on the field and off. By Bank of America, official bank of the New England Patriots. And by AdCare. If you or a loved one is struggling with drugs or alcohol, AdCare can help. Call 1-800-ALCOHOL.
Coming up this fall, let's head down to the farm with cattle ranch owner and operator, Pro Football Hall of Fame guard John Hanna.
I mean, let's face it, that if I hadn't have played in the NFL, I would have never been able to have this.
Special teams ace Justin Bethel is a man of many talents. Who knew playing the drums was one of them?
This is something that's kind of part of my life, that's always been a part of my life and will always be a part of my life. And it's something I love doing, and I'm glad I can share it with other people.
Where is 2001 unsung hero David Patton these days?
Touchdown, David Patton!
That's Pastor David Patton.
Lord, I just want to take a moment to praise you.
Who heads up the AWOL ministry in Columbia, South Carolina.
Welcome back to Patriots All Access, everyone. Time now for our panel discussion with Mike Reese and Paul Perillo. First things first, COVID. It hasn't gone away just yet, Mike. How's that affecting the team?
Well, first things first. It's great to be here with both of you
Yes,
guys
it is.
here at the
You're
start
a little
of training
overdressed,
camp.
Mike.
Right?
We're outside.
Maybe
we go a little more casual.
Yeah, I think I got to go short sleeves. You know, it was a little cooler than I was expecting. Steve, COVID. We saw how it affected the Patriots. Cole Popovich, the co-offensive line coach, not with the team this year. I'm told that's in part due to the COVID-19 vaccine as well as the NFL guidelines. But overall, being out here at practice, I didn't see much of a difference from what it would be in a normal year.
Well, guys, I have to talk about the elephant in the room because it is a big room. The quarterback situation. Mac Jones, Cam Newton, it's between those two. Even though there are four, it's between those two. What'd you see in Mac Jones today, Paul?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And as much as I try not to fall into that one thing that the fans are always claiming, you can't help it, right? Every single play. I mean, I was to the point, Steve, I was looking at the pre-practice routines and the centers are snapping to quarterbacks, and I'm making note of the fact that David Andrews was snapping to Mac Jones. Does that mean anything? I don't know. I didn't have Mike next to me, so I didn't really know for sure. But just to me, the over-analysis of everything that's going on, I do think Mac Jones, there's a lot of things that we saw in the spring, we continue to see now. The ball comes out pretty quickly. I think he's decisive. When he's on time, Mike, he's impressive. There are other times he looks like a rookie. It's going to be those ups and downs.
Little things I love to watch for on the first day of training camp. Mac Jones, the third overall player out on the field, getting a big cheer from the crowd.
Absolutely.
I love that moment of the first day of training camp. Big picture, guys, I do wonder if he'll have enough time to make a charge for that starting quarterback job. They're not going to be in pads until the second week of training camp. This is unheard of, sort of those new rules that are in place. So I think the timing is so condensed that it really puts rookies like Mac Jones in a tough spot.
All right, Jared Stidham's on the PUP list, the PUP list, but he's not the only one. Stephon Gilmore, who was also here as well, but cannot practice yet.
Yeah, and I know that they wanted him to come in with the other injured veterans last week, and he was able to do that. So I think that was a positive sign. He didn't really want to do that from what I understand, but he was able to do that. Now I think it gives the Patriots an opportunity, Steve, to see where he stands physically. And that's probably step one of a resolution for this contract squabble, if you want to call it that. But right now, it kind of looks to me, Mike, he's going to be on PUP until he gets what he wants. It's almost like a hold in rather than a hold out.
So Gilmore really is hanging out here, but is he hanging in here?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's working with the rehab players, so I don't want to say he's just sitting around with a lounge chair watching practice, taking notes like me and Paul. I mean, but at the same time, I think the fact he's here, and maybe this is too much of an optimistic viewpoint, is positive to getting toward a resolution. To me, it would have been hard to think the Patriots would have given into any of his demands without seeing him and having him present. So I think, to me, it's a good first step.
One last thing. Do you guys feel optimistic about how things are going so far?
I think defensively, Steve, this team has a chance to be very good. And I think it will all depend, again, on the quarterback. That large room that you're talking about, the quarterback play. I think there's some pieces in place and some improvement on offense. We'll see how it unfolds.
I think it looks good to me, Steve. A much more talented team, top to bottom, than we saw last year.
Well, it's good to see you guys again.
No doubt, Steve. Great to be with you.
Absolutely. Ready to go.
Ready to go, aren't we all? Without ado, for this week's edition of Patriots All Access, from Mike Reese and Paul Brillo, we'll see you next month as preseason begins.